Yo, what up YouTube, what up boxing fans, E-King Fight News here to talk about Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy. Or he was the Golden Boy. His thoughts and prediction on Canelo Alvarez versus Floyd Mayweather. And just to give you a brief history of Floyd Mayweather and De La Hoya's relationship, I'm going to refer to All Access, where De La Hoya said it himself.
Our 2007 fight will never be forgotten. There was a lot of bad blood, there was a lot of animosity and hate towards each other. You know, there's still this little thorn in me that's stuck right in the side of my ribs, you know, that I still haven't taken out.
So, clearly, you know, it still bothers him, that loss against Floyd Mayweather, to this day. Maybe he's jealous. Maybe he's envious of what Mayweather has accomplished in his career, including the victory against himself. And going into this one, or in fact going into other Mayweather's previous fights, De La Hoya has always backed the opponent. It's like Floyd Mayweather's telling De La Hoya, you know, give me your next opponent, I'll whip his ass. And De La Hoya's like, okay. And he keeps on lining up in front of him, and Floyd Mayweather's knocking them all down. And, you know, Canelo Alvarez is a little bit different than all the other opponents. You know, he's not shop-worn, he's not an old fighter. He's the exact opposite. He's young, hungry, and determined, and he's the much bigger man. Similar to Victor Ortiz, except I don't believe Canelo's a quitter. You know, we saw that against Austin Trout, right? You know, Victor Ortiz, he's quit before, you know, prior to the Mayweather fight. However, against Austin Trout in Canelo's toughest test, I believe even against Shane Mosley, he got cut in that fight, and it didn't bother his strategy at all, right? So overall, very interesting this fight is, and Oscar De La Hoya is clearly biased in his view because he just can't give any leeway. You know, he's got to back Canelo. This is his boy. This is someone who he's probably been, you know, grooming for this fight, and he really wants Canelo to win. And it hasn't been more evident than this quote here on what he has to say about Canelo Alvarez.
Without any further ado, he is boxing's biggest star, hailing out of Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saúl El Canelo Alvarez. I've been sitting on the top of the throne for 17 years. You know what? You might well call me the Golden Boy, because I done beat everybody on your whole crew.
I respect that he's beaten everybody, you know, and he still has that O on his record. But one thing that Mayweather has to understand is that my fighter's gonna kick your ass.
Oh, it's just that easy. He's gonna kick Mayweather's ass, no problem. Well, I'll tell you what, because Oscar De La Hoya did have some other thoughts on the fight. In fact, in a Boxing Scene article, Oscar De La Hoya pretty much explained that in his fight with Mayweather, he was reckless with his aggression. And the difference here is Canelo is going to use intelligence. He's going to have smart aggression in this fight. So he's gonna, well, he's trying to say he's gonna fight smarter. Now, I've never known any fighter to be able to outsmart Floyd Mayweather. That's just simply something that you really need to have so much experience to do. Like, the only guy I think can do it is if Bernard Hopkins went, you know, was a welterweight, you know, reincarnated as a welterweight. I think that's the only guy that could really give Mayweather a run for his money in terms of boxing IQ. And Here's another quote from Oscar De La Hoya. Mayweather got the decision, but I feel that I beat him. Canelo is so calm and mature, nothing gets to him. He's focused. I tell him to stay focused and keep pumping your jab. That is the key. My world changed after I beat Chavez. Canelo is experiencing the glory and ahead of his time. If he doesn't knock Floyd out in less than 8 rounds, I will be very surprised. Well, get ready to be surprised, De La Hoya, because he seems to be banking so much in his fighters, and every time they go in front of Floyd, he just shuts him up. And maybe De La Hoya won't have anything to say when Floyd wins this decision. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, I'm saying hopefully De La Hoya doesn't set up some bullshit judging going on. But overall, there's no way I see Canelo winning a decision. So let me know what you guys think. It is what it is. Peace out. Take care.